What's going on, pipe people? The Pipe Hunter back at you. 2 videos in a row. That might be a record for me. So I'm smoking my Tuesday work pipe, which is a lot like the one I posted yesterday, but it's a little bit smaller. It's a straight bulldog, but it's English briar, English made, but it's sold through a shop, another shop in Boston around the same time period, 50s, 60s. And let's see if we can get that up there. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but in case you didn't see that clear enough, it's spelled E-H-R-L-I-C-H. So today is the first, I guess what I would call cool day of the season. It's been really hot this summer. Working out here in Pennsylvania, outside a lot of the day. It's a little windy out, but it's 61 degrees with a high of 69. I don't know about you guys, but for me that is pipe weather. And it had me thinking about something along with an article I read today. And the article, to sum it up very quickly, said people, human beings, we find happiness in change, in new, in something fresh, a new experience, but it can't all be new. You use the example, if every single day you had a new partner and you had to start from the beginning phase, what's your favorite color? It'd be awful. You'd never build a lasting relationship. If you had to start a new job every single day, you'd never build a career. So there has to be a mix of new and consistent. And the idea of the article was, when you're kind of living in a Groundhog Day and each day is kind of the same in, same out, how do you incorporate new into your life? You're leaning again, or I'm leaning again. How do you incorporate change into your life? How do you keep things fresh when you go home to the same home every single day? When you go to work to the same place every single day? And it mentioned things about, I'm trying to think of a few examples. It's always good to have something to look forward to, is kind of what it said. There's been studies done that shown that we actually enjoy the anticipation leading up to a planned vacation more so than the vacation itself. And it mentioned you need to plan things. You need to incorporate little things into your life when you can squeeze them in. A Saturday fishing trip with your dad, plan it a month in advance, something to look forward to. You know, Monday night bowling. Plan an annuals guys trip. Go on a weekend getaway with your wife every 6 months. And that's true. Where I just finished up my vacation last week, I'm trying to find something to look forward to now. Not that there's nothing to look forward to, but I'm trying to plan something just to, I guess, give myself that motivation. The other thing it mentioned, small changes, is break your life into seasons. And so, you know, if you listen to music every single day, which I absolutely do, and I'm guilty of this, it's easy to fall into a pattern of listening to the same thing over and over again. Find some music that you like and plan it for only a certain time of year. A really easy example of this would be, I love basically the Rat Pack, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, all these guys. And one of my favorite Christmas albums is the Michael Bublé Christmas album. If you don't like it, that's okay. If it's not your thing, but you know, that's something I reserve for Christmas time, and it's something I look forward to. If that's an album I listen to all year round, it wouldn't be very special. But it is special because I listen to it that one time a year. And that's a real easy example. There's a lot of ways you can incorporate things into your life. Food, you can seasonally change it. So, you know, I don't really know if I have a good example on food. I eat pretty straightforward food. But it gives all these examples of, you know, when things are consistent, change up the little things and actually kind of schedule and plan on that change. And I thought, as a pipe smoker, that really relates to this hobby. Because whether it's intentional or unintentional, I kind of do change my smoking patterns based on the season, and a lot of pipe smokers do. Now, it's no secret that I'm a big Burley fan. And I smoke Burley all year round. But I definitely smoke it heavier when it's getting cooler outside. And so with today being 61, it has me excited for Burley season. Something to look forward to. You know, I'm always smoking a pipe, but how do you keep it still kind of exciting? Well, find those blends you like to smoke that time of year. I just finished off that tin of Cornell and Diehl Burley Flake number 3. I smoke a lot of Burley, but that was the first time I had that tin. So it's still pipe smoking, but it's still fresh, it's still new. And then something I reserve for only a particular time of year. Well, I do, as I mentioned, smoke Burley most of the year, but you know, Cornell and Diehl just came out with their 8 State Burley blend a few weeks ago. And I picked up a few tins of it, had that last year around this time of year when it started getting cool. Absolutely loved it. And as soon as I'm finished with this little bit of Navy Flake, Mac Baren Navy Flake, I'll be popping the 8 State Burley next. It has me really excited, looking forward to it. And since we're talking about tobacco, I kind of schedule what I'm gonna smoke. I don't give myself a time frame, but I know the next tin I'm gonna open before I get to it. And so I just mentioned the 8 State Burley. After that, I just ordered a pound of one of my favorite blends. If you haven't had it, you have to try it, especially if you're a Burley fan. Mac Baren HH Burley Flake. I bought a tin of that one time on a whim. Absolutely fell in love. It was one of those blends that immediately clicked, and I knew it would be a part of my rotation. Whether it's a seasonal rotation, I knew it would have a regular spot. So I'm gonna separate it up and store it in 2 ounces, in like 8 individual 2-ounce mason jars, or 2 ounces in a mason jar. I may smoke 2 ounces, decide to pop another one, smoke that, may decide to move on to something else. I haven't thought that far ahead yet. I don't like to overthink or overplan. Nothing like making videos and watching them to realize you talk with your hands. Wintertime when it gets cold, you hear a lot of people talk about this. I almost hate to fall into that category, but it really works out. I love English blends with Latakia. I'll smoke Latakia throughout the year, but definitely heavier in the wintertime. Definitely gonna smoke some plum pudding this year. Haven't smoked that blend in probably at least a solid year. Talking about wintertime and snow, I have to look on the tin description again. I don't think it's exactly a English blend. I think it's a Burley Forward blend, but I had seen online that Hearth and Home has the series. Actually, I can't think of the series name, but the blend is First Snow, and a lot of the tin art looks the same in that series. So if you have seen that before, you'll know the series that I'm talking about. Always wanted to try one from that series and haven't gotten around to it yet. So I thought, First Snow, that's a perfect blend to buy and just wait for the first snowfall and crack it then. So something new that's kind of scheduled, kind of not. Guess you never really know when the first snow is going to fall. Not for certain. I think it's where I talk so much, the pipe keeps going out. Because I'd never have this much trouble unless I'm making a video. Now, predominantly I smoke Virginias, and I would say Burley is actually my second most smoked tobacco type. Overall, this year might be first, but overall, Virginias, Virginia Periques, smoke them all year round. For the most part, you know, in the springtime, a Virginia with a lot of high notes, citrusy notes, works out great for me. Something like Early Golden Sliced, it's not overpowering, it's very gentle, just like spring is gentle. Virginia Perique Vapor Blends is probably in my #1 slot, but I really like those in summertime. Red Virginias in the wintertime is fantastic. Every year I pick out, I get 3 tins of the Sutliff Crinkle Cake, or the Crinkle Flake, my bad, which usually has some really nice red Virginias in it, which, if you've had red Virginias, you'll know what I'm talking about. It has that amazing, tangy, tart fruit flavor, and it really fits in with Christmas time. Even though it's a Virginia, it's great in the winter. Puts me in that holiday mindset, which is, I assume, what it's made to do. I don't know if it reminds me of cranberries or fruit cake or what, but it just has that Christmas, I don't call it a theme, but it fits in with that time of year. But again, it's not to say I don't smoke English blends throughout the year. It's not to say I don't smoke Burley or Virginia Perique blends throughout the year. I do, but I smoke more Virginias in the summer, more Burleys in the fall, more Englishes in the wintertime. And real quick before I hop off here, I'm going to backtrack just for a second on that. One blend I haven't had in a long time that I'm looking forward to, I'm going to get some for the fall around Halloween, is I want to revisit Autumn Evening, Cornell and Diehl. It was one of the very first aromatic smokes that I ever bought. And I liked it, but I knew something was different about it compared to other aromatic blends. And it never really clicked 100%. And now that I know a lot more about this hobby, it's a Virginia Cavendish, so the base tobacco is very different than most aromatic blends. And I remember tasting the Virginia tobacco and tasting, you know, most aromatics, you can taste the Cavendish, but it just, aromatics don't always have the most tobacco forward flavor. I remember Autumn Evening having that Virginia flavor as well as the topping. Smoked it way too hot, smoked it way too fast. Wasn't mature enough as a pipe smoker yet to really tackle that one. I got sick. I mean, actually sick, I threw up. Now I'm a nicotine junkie. But that's a different story as well. But yeah, Autumn Evening. I like rum and maple blends, which that predominantly is from my memory. Now that I'm a Virginia smoker, I'm very comfortable with the idea of revisiting Autumn Evening, approaching it and smoking it as if it was a Virginia. Slow, steady, just sipping along. Almost think of smoking a Virginia like sipping a cup of tea. You don't want to chug it. But guys, that's all I have today. Just some food for thought. And this 16-minute video. I thought this was going to be a 3-minute video. I was wrong. That's okay. For the meantime, keep smoking, keep puffing, keep enjoying. I hope you guys have a good rest of your week.